Everyone seems to be loving this film. I, for one, thought it was okay. It had its moments, but up front, I think Sinister was better. But I don't even think that's the best horror film of all time, like many do. Okay, so The Black Phone. It was directed by Scott Derrickson, the man who gave us films Sinister and Doctor Strange. Now, this movie, The Black Phone, was based on a short story with the same name written by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. The Black Phone gives us a suspenseful story with some supernatural elements to it that's set in the 1970s about a child killer called the Grabber who snatches teenage boys during the day and they're never heard of again. A young boy named Finney is captured and imprisoned in a soundproof basement by the Grabber. Soon after, he is contacted over a disconnected phone by the Grabber's previous victims who try to aid Finney in his fight to survive and escape. What am I liking? Well, I like the character development, and that's in here. You'll notice in the first act there's an underlying layer of abuse and trauma our characters going through. With that said, the movie takes its time in introducing to us the story and characters without forcing anything. Too many times horror films do this to try to hook you in with some frantic scare tactic, and most of the time it comes off poorly. This tells me that the movie itself doesn't believe in its story and characters. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done, as there are horror movies out there that can pull this off, and that's because they have creative ideas. I, for one, value build up, and here I appreciate it as it's all set up and not force fed. Now, I know I might sound like I'm building this up, and I don't want to do that as it's nothing special, but the film's first act setup is decent. Too often we don't get this all the time, and when we do, I appreciate it. One of the strong points of this film is the acting. Ethan Hawke is on a roll this year with Moon Knight, The Northman, and now this The Black Phone. Ethan Hawke does good here in giving us this fake, cheerful, deranged guy. He plays with his voice going high and low while giving off some vigorous and childlike mannerism that just adds in on the creepiness factor. You don't ever see his face in the film now that I think about it. I like that. The child actors are great here. We have Mason Thames who plays Finney, and he does a good job here, giving us range with his performance, and he goes through many stages with it throughout the film. And then we have Madeline McGraw who plays Finney's sister, Gwen, who also holds her own here. The two of them both get their moments to shine and show us what they're capable of, which really helps to reinforce this film. The acting is solid all around. I like how the movie relies on it. I like the 70s look, the vibe, the 70s suburbs, the film grainy look and lighting that complements the film's style. What am I not liking? Well, the film wasn't frightening as I would have liked it to be, which I personally felt was missing. There's not a lot of violence here, so if you're hoping for that, then prepare yourself. There are a few jump scares here and there, which I'm not a fan of, but it's not all that bad. And using Roger Ebert's 4-star rating system here, I would give this film 2.5 stars. I thought the first act was promising, but afterwards, there were some moments I got bored and I found myself thinking, this isn't really all that scary. But the movie does find its footing in its own way, but not in a way that was impactful for me. I'm just saying.